Hello from the Big South Network studio. I'm Mark Bryant, and this is another part of our preview series for Big South Softball 2025. Very happy to have with me here the head coach of the Gardner-Webb Runnin' Bulldogs, Bailey Wigness. Coach, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Well, let's get right into preparations. You've been through fall ball and preseason workouts happening. What are you doing? What are you working on in terms of the direction for the team for this year?
Yeah, so we came back a couple weeks ago, brought them back early for our spring training. So we've did about a week of double days, so that was fun. A lot of bonding experience. Had a snow day, so that was good. But yeah, we're getting pretty close to February 7th. So a lot of inter squads, a lot of live. Just trying to tighten up some things defensively. Offensively, I'm pretty pleased with where we're at. So just trying to continue to get better one day at a time and get ready for February 7th.
Of course. Now, the team this year, what does the roster makeup look like in terms of what you've got returning versus new arrivals, and where's the leadership coming from?
Yeah, so we have 25 on the roster, 16 returners. We have 8 freshmen, and we had 1 transfer from Morehead State. So 9 newcomers, which, is kind of a lot, but we have 10 juniors on our roster. So I think our leadership there is, they've kind of come in and taken over the team. They've spent the last 2 years kind of just trying to learn and grow as competitors, and now this is kind of their show. They're running it, so we're really excited about that. We have 4 or 5 starting players, position players returning from last year, so I think that'll be good, and but a lot of new faces in the lineup this year, so I'm excited to see kind of how that shakes up.
Let's talk about a couple of the standouts you've got. You've got a couple all-conference players in Annika McLaughlin and Araceli Pisquera back in 2025. How did you build on their previous success and take them another step?
Yeah, so Annika is a phenomenal player, probably one of the best defensive players I've ever coached. I think she plays second base for us. She plays some outfield as well, but majority of the time at second base. And I think when she's out there, when the ball goes in her direction, it's like it's an out. Like we're already starting to write on our papers like outs. So she's really good there. Offensively, she's a slapper for us, so trying to work a little bit more on her placement, a little bit more on her short game. So I think that'll help out this year. So we're excited for her as a junior to take another step off of her success. Araceli, she is our super senior. So she had a really good year my first year here, which was 2022 season. She was all conference, one of our leading hitters, just phenomenal player. She actually redshirted from an injury in 2023. So she did play last spring, but she missed the entire fall. So her spring was kind of almost playing catch up a little bit. So her numbers were a little bit down, but now that she's had essentially a year under her belt of live at bats and things like that, she is going to be a force in the Big South. I mean, she's hitting everything right now, so it's good for me to see. And she's just very hard to pitch to. She hits every pitch. She hits off speed, so we're looking for her to really drive in a lot of runs for us this year.
Let's take it to the circle for a second. Tell me about your pitching staff and what you need to figure out in terms of getting to a rotation and where the innings are coming from.
Yeah, so we have 2 juniors right now, returners. Kaylin Kyle's our lefty. She predominantly closed for us last year. She's our lefty. Great year last year, below sub-3 ERA. I think she had 98 strikeouts in 90 innings, which is incredible. Allison Stidham is back. She is a junior. She threw quite a bit her freshman year. Didn't throw as much last year, but we're looking for her to really kind of take over. She's matured a ton. As a junior, we have a transfer from Morehead State, Addie Stem. She's coming along, and then we have 2 freshmen. So it's really going to be those 5 that will kind of take the majority of the innings. The rotation, I don't know what it's going to look like. We're still trying to figure that out, just because Kaylin Kyle is such a good closer. So trying to figure out who works best, but it's definitely going to be a pitch by committee, and their job is to keep us in games, and our offense has got to score runs. So. But excited about them. I think they'll be solid. But I think Kaylin Kyle and Allie Stidham will really probably carry the majority of our innings this year.
Everybody knows what a gauntlet you're going to have in conference play, same every year.
Yeah.
But tell me about the non-conference opponents you've got lined up and what folks have to look forward to seeing this year.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about our schedule this year. We play in 4 or 5 tournaments, and you know, a lot of 30-win teams, a lot of conference winners. So I think that's kind of our philosophy is, you know, we'll play some Power 5 teams, like we played Clemson this year, but we want to play teams that are winning 30-plus games, are winning their conference. So I think that'll be fun for us. UT Chat is a big one. I think we have them coming down. They think they won 45 games last year. They played in their regional very, very tough. They have great pitching, so I think that'll be a good test for us. But kind of hard for me to think about anything else other than West Georgia right now. We're opening up against them in Howard on February 7th, so I think that'll be a fun weekend for us.
Well, we certainly wish you the best of luck with getting off to a good start, you and all the Running Bulldogs this year. And we thank you for watching another installment of our preview series for Big South Softball 2025.